The witch who never was. The storm lashed against the rooftops of a village too small to have a name. Rain turned the dirt roads to rivers of mud as Evaline huddled inside the ramshackle cottage she shared with her parents. Outside, voices rose in panic. "They're coming! The king's soldiers are here!" Evaline froze, her stomach churning. The soldiers had been scouring the kingdom for weeks, hunting anyone accused of witchcraft. Her mother burst through the door, her face pale. "Evaline, hide, now!" "But why? I'm not—" Evaline began, but her father cut her off with a grim look. "No questions, just do as we say." He pulled up a loose floorboard and shoved her into the cramped space beneath. Moments later, the door crashed open. Rain and soldiers spilled into the house. Their leader, a stern woman with scars carved across her face, stepped forward. "We're looking for the witch," she said, her voice like iron. "Give her up, or we'll burn this place to the ground." "There's no witch here," her father replied, trembling. "Just farmers." The soldiers tore the room apart. Evaline held her breath as one approached the floorboard, but her mother cried out, distracting him. "She's not here," her mother shouted. "She ran off years ago. You'll find nothing here but grief," the leader sneered. "Fools, hiding a witch is treason. The king's justice will find you." She turned on her heel, leaving the house in ruins. Evaline's parents waited until the hoofbeats faded before lifting the floorboard. Evaline crawled out trembling. "Why would you say I'm a witch?" she whispered. Her father sank into a chair, his voice cracking. "Because you are one. Or so they must believe." The next morning, Evaline fled the village. Her parents had sacrificed themselves to keep her safe, claiming she was powerless, a fraud. She couldn't understand why, but she obeyed, running deep into the forest that bordered the kingdom. Days later, Evaline collapsed near a stream. That's when Kira found her. "You look like hell," Kira said, crouching beside her. "The soldiers do this," Evaline nodded. "They think I'm a witch." "Are you?" "No." Evaline hesitated. "At least, I don't think so," Kira smiled wryly. "Good. The kingdom's full of lies, and witches are the biggest one of all." Kira led Evaline to a hidden rebel camp. It was there that Evaline learned the truth. Witches didn't exist. The king's battalion of witches was a lie, a ploy to control the people through fear. The so-called magic was just alchemy, psychology, and clever tricks. Evaline struggled to process it. If witches aren't real, why did my parents pretend I was one? "To protect you," Kira said. "The king hunts those with unique gifts, strategists, inventors, dreamers. By making you an outcast, your parents kept you off his radar." Evaline's chest tightened. Her parents' sacrifice had been greater than she realized. But why had they told her she had powers? The answer came when Evaline stumbled upon an old journal in her satchel. Her mother's handwriting scrawled across the pages. Her grandmother, a brilliant alchemist, had once served the king before defecting with secrets that could topple the regime. Her parents had inherited those secrets and used the lie of witchcraft to shield Evaline. Evaline's hands shook as she read the final entry. Evaline has her grandmother's gift. She can see through people, their intentions, their weaknesses. It's not magic, but it's powerful. If the king discovers her, she'll be taken. We won't let that happen. Her gift wasn't magic, it was intuition, an uncanny ability to read others. She had used it her whole life without realizing. Evaline approached Kira. "I want to help, not as a witch, but as who I really am." Kira arched an eyebrow. "And who's that?" "A strategist," Evaline said. "You're fighting a war of lies. Let's use the truth to win." Evaline's ability to read people made her invaluable in negotiations and sabotage. She helped the rebels infiltrate the king's battalion, exposing the fraud of his witches and turning many against him. Word spread, and the people began to question the king's power. The final confrontation came on the royal palace steps. Evaline faced the scarred woman who had torn apart her home. "You're no witch," the woman sneered. "Just a clever girl playing games." Evaline smiled, her gaze steady. "Maybe, but even clever games can topple empires." The rebellion succeeded not through magic, but through truth. Evaline's name became a symbol of hope, a reminder that the greatest power lies not in spells, but in the courage to confront lies with the light of reality.